So today we are going to be taking a look at a scenario where Russia and the Germans switch ideologies right before World War II. This scenario, just literally came up with it in my head, so we're gonna go from here. But yeah, let me give you a quick rundown of it. Now, this rundown might take a little while, so I might make this into a multi-episode series. But anyway, so let's go over to Germany. Of course, this is right after the Treaty of Versailles. As you can tell, literally, like, nothing has changed. Or at least I don't think anything has changed on this map. But, yeah, going to the Treaty of Versailles, we saw that the Germans lost a bunch of land, and they're in, well, depression basically. The currency is basically worth nothing, and well, the Russians, they went into a communist regime in the normal world. But in this world, we're going to be seeing something a little bit different. And well, to get here, we have to look at the Soviet Union. And basically what we see happening, this is probably like, let's say 1930, let's say it's like 1928. So it's like a couple years after the Treaty of Versailles, and well, communism is not working in Russia. We see a bunch of revolts taking place. These are not tiny revolts, these are huge, but the main one that we see takes place up here near Moscow in the Ukrainish areas. As we see this rebellion, this one is very against communism. They don't really like it. They believe that they should have just stuck to the monarch and just rapidized all by themselves instead of having this communist dictator guy come in. We're going to say that it's like Stalin just got into power and he is not doing very good. Like, he is very unpopular in Russia. And well, I'm just gonna say that Moscow's like right here. Cause like I'm pretty sure it is. But like yeah, we're gonna see this thing happening. And yeah, like in Central Asia, ton of support for these guys. As we see both of these rebellious groups, yeah, they break out, and the Russians, yeah, they're kind of cooked down here in Central Asia because nobody likes them. So we see this happening, and I don't know why this isn't colored in for Russia. But when this happens, we are actually going to be seeing the this group doing very, very well against the Russians. We even see this place surrendering over to them, and also up here we see a huge offensive taking place, as Russia is very, very unpopulated out here. All their population is by Moscow, so well, they're basically a barren desert. So yeah, we're gonna see a couple of plans being devised by these guys, and the Ukrainians are gonna say, these of course are Ukrainian fascists. And sorry if the video doesn't like already tell you, or like the title. This scenario is like, what if Russia became fascist and Germany was communist after World War I? So yeah, just to be clear. So this plan is that all of the rebel groups are going to make very, very large advancements onto Russia. Their main goals is, of course, to take out Russia. And well, actually, this is not all one group, so I'm gonna quickly change this. But there we go. Perfect. I just fixed it. But as this plan goes on, we are going to see it go further and further into motion. Do not want it that big of size for the brush. But we see that the purple Russians are going to be moving around the coastal areas, because that is literally where they reside, basically. They're the cold northernist group for the Russian Empire, or like the Russians. These guys, they just want to revolutionize, or like, yeah, the northern parts, as they start to cut Russia off from all naval access. And yeah, just gets pretty bad for Russia up here, as all of their naval assets basically cut off because there's nothing in Siberia. And well, now we have to focus over here, as we see that the fascist Russians are moving into Moscow. Moscow's like right here, or at least I'm pretty sure it is. as we see these guys are getting very close to the gates of Moscow, and in that meantime, they have captured a lot of land of previous Russia. They have also went up and around the like the Lime rebellions, as these guys, they want like all of the Russian land. They don't want like a bunch of countries forming in Russia, so they're of course going to try to take as much as possible. But that is unfortunately not going to be, well, happening, as the orange guys over here, these guys, they're pretty big on, well, like expanding, and in the meantime they have gotten a lot of land over in Siberia because there's nobody fighting over here. And yeah, they even get to like Baikal area, but yeah, they do a very big amount of damage. However, this area is going to then be split by the purple country and the Lime rebels. The Lime rebels are pro, like, they kind of side with the fascists, but the purple guys, they're pro-monarchist group, kind of like the czars. They want them back. So the purple guys, they are going to take a lot of land, and then the red country, they're going to have a large sweeping campaign over the rest of Russia, as they will completely capture Moscow. And now we can take a look at the peace treaty of Russia. And this is the peace treaty that we see for Russia. As we see, it gets split into a bunch of different groups. We see the Russians over here. These are the fascist Russians from the start, or that's what their flag looks like, and this is what they are. We see the monarchist Russians up here. These are the purple guys. They're in the north. We see the Central Asian semi-fascist country, kind of aligning with the green team or the red team. But then in the central area, we see Mongolia gets a little bit of land from Russia, as well as two brand new countries, and then Siberia forms its own. But yeah, I'm gonna take the colors off because there's something we have to talk about here. And that thing is that the Russians, the fascist Russians, they're definitely on the rise. As well, in the past year, oh my gosh, there's something in my sleeve I can't get out. Whatever. But in the recent years, Russia, they became fascist. We're gonna say it's like 1931. And around this same time, Germany is going to be getting a communist dictator. As in Minsk, the famous no-no leader, gets killed in a police accident, and the not so good German party in World War II starts to collapse, and thus bringing in a new communist regime. This communist regime is very liked by the people because it starts to increase their economy and also their relations with their neighbors. However, the West is obviously, they see communism as a radical ideology. However, it's not going to seem so radical for what the new fascist Soviets are going to do. And what are they going to do, you might ask? Well, they're going to declare war on a country. And that country is going to be Turkey. Now, what do Russia and Turkey have in history? Well, they have some beef, as Turkey captured Moscow in like the 1500s. So now Russia is going to return the favor and capture, I don't really remember the capital of Turkey. I know a lot about Turkish history, but not the capital. But we see that the neo-fascist Russian forces are going to start moving into Turkey, as this invasion is going to go very well. And it goes very well when they start to land troops all over the northern parts of Turkey. Turkey right now, they're doing pretty bad, as the Turkish, they of course lost a ton of land in the peace treaty of Versailles, and well, just not good for them. Wow, I cannot speak. But also, Greece is going to join in on this, as they are going to make an invasion of Turkey, as they would like some land, as well, the Allies use them in basically everything. So we see that they're going to go over here and capture Constantinople, or they're going to rename it back to Constantinople. But yeah, they also make several landings across the Turkish coast. And well, this is very bad, as Greece is showing very big ambitions uh, as they take over basically the rest of the coast of Turkey, and that is the rest of the coast. And with this, the Russians are going to get a boost of confidence with their new ally, as they're going to capture. Oh, got it now. It's Ankara, pretty sure. But they're going to capture Ankara, and from here, it is just going to be divided up, as the Soviets are going to annex this part of land, and the Greeks are going to get that part. And now we can take a look at this peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, we see a complete division of Turkey. Turkey basically no more. Russia is basically the rulers of Turkey. And now it is at this point where we're going to see Russia create the first alliance on this map. And this is going to be known as, well, fascist Eastern Europe, I guess. Kind of, not really. But they are going to be joining this alliance as the leader. In fact, I'm just going to change this really quick. It should be its own layer. But Russia, they're going to create this alliance, and the second country to join is, of course, the Central Asian country. Them and Russia, they're very close right now at this point, and their second ally is actually going to be Greece. Yeah, we can definitely see that, as the Greeks just helped them out in a war. But yeah, the Greeks, very good ally. Very good ally for the Russians, as they are pretty strong at the minute. But oh, they also have this little colony. I forgot to explain that, but this is all Greek. But this is the first major alliance over here, and well, this is gonna scare some countries because these guys are all very powerful, and well, they're basically like the Axis powers. So yeah, not very good. But now let's go over to the Germans and see what they're doing. And well, the Germans, they are doing very well. They are being very prosperous. However, their approach to communism is not the same as, well, they kind of like the Russians. They want some land because they lost a lot of it in the Treaty of Versailles. So they're gonna get some land. And well, first off, Austria, sorry, the Germans, they're pretty mad at you. So the Germans, they're gonna start putting forces into Austria. This has been in the works for a very long time now. I'd say it's about 1938 at this point. But the Germans, they're going to start an invasion of Austria, as they're very mad at Austria for doing terrible in World War I, and even maybe losing them the war. So this is going to go very, very quickly, as the Germans are going to completely take over Austria. And then, well, kind of like World War II, they're going to take the Sudetenland. This land is the land that they took from Czechia at the start, or like before World War II. So they take that piece of land, and well, they also give some to their good ally Hungary. These are really, really bad borders, I just noticed. So, well, I'm gonna fix them. But anyway, there we go. That's pretty perfect. As we see, Germany gains a lot of land, and immediately after, the French and the British are going to get pretty scared, as the Germans are getting pretty powerful. However, there is a certain country over in the west called Russia that is once again on the move. As now, who are they going to be declaring war on? They're going to be declaring war on Romania. Now, why would they declare war on Romania, you may ask? They fought with them in World War I. Well, the Germans, sorry, these are not the Germans, these are the Russians. The Russians, they are kind of mad that Romania got land from them, I think after World War II. So, or World War I. So they're going to start moving their troops in, and Romania is going to take this by surprise, as, well, yeah, they never expected Russia to invade them, especially after they fought alongside them. And, well, yeah, Russia just takes over Romania in like a couple of days. And then right after this, they're going to be like, okay, Bulgaria, we're going to give you a decision. Either you join us, you join us, or yeah, you're going to die. So, Bulgaria, or yeah, Bulgaria, they're going to make a very, very good decision and join up in the fictional Axis powers. And now we are going to take a look at this peace treaty between the Russians and the Romanians. But anyway, here's the peace treaty of, well, Romania, as we see that they are basically cut in half by the Russians. However, their government is now placed under a fascist rule. Now, I'm going to fix the alliances after this, because this is definitely going to be a multi-episode series, probably like maybe 4 or 5 episodes long. But, actually, we might make this into alternate future. I don't know yet. But, yeah, we see that happening. And now, we're actually going to go away from Europe, like, I think, for the first time in any of these scenarios, to Mongolia. Now, what is Mongolia going to be doing? Yeah, they're declaring war on a country. Now, why would Mongolia declare war on a country? Mongolia has been dormant for ages. And when I say ages, I mean ages. Like, the last time that they did anything, I think, was the Mongol Empire, which was from China to, what's it called? Poland. I'm so bad right now. But the Mongolians, yeah, they're declaring war on Manchuria. Now, the Manchurians, it's a rough day for them, as they are also getting declared war on by Siberia. However, Poland or Mongolia does not really like this, so we'll have to see how that leads to into the future. But we're going to see that the Mongolians start to move their forces in first into Manchuria. The what are they called again? The Siberians, they weren't really ready, or like they saw this happening and they're like, okay, we should probably jump Manchuria because easy land and a lot of population for us. So when the Mongolians start to invade in, we're gonna see that the Manchurians are also going to start an invasion of their own into the eastern side of Manchuria. And, well, Manchuria definitely not able to hold their own against this force, especially because, like, Mongolia, probably a pretty strong country right now because they just got a bunch of valuable land with a bunch of oil. So, yeah, probably pretty good. And to make matters even worse for the Manchurians, okay, here comes Taiwan. Many people don't actually know, but like Taiwan was actually like all of China. So like, yeah. So China, as I'm just gonna call it, is gonna start an invasion of Taiwan. Or what am I saying? This is not Taiwan. This is Manchuria. But they're gonna start an invasion of Manchuria as well, and this is gonna make the Mongolians very angry and start sending their forces in a lot. And they're gonna secure the north and then the Siberians are going to secure the east. And now we're going to take a look at this peace treaty. And in this peace treaty, we see that the Mongolians, the Chinese, and the Siberians all get a big chunk of land out of Manchuria. And now Manchuria is gone. They're wiped off the face of the earth. But now it is time to go to the Middle East, as something pretty big is going to be happening, and it is going to be taking place in Iraq and in Iran. And you may be wondering, what is going on here? Well, I'll tell you what in a second. And what happens? I'll tell you what, a civil war happens. Yeah, so Iran and Iraq fall into a double civil war where one side is on the same team. And, well, what are these rebels exactly? Well, kind of like the other civil war that we saw earlier. These are not, of course, the same sides. One of these is actually a Iranian rebel group, and, well, actually 2 of them are actually a Iranian rebel group. But the third one is actually a normal, or like both of them. And this rebel group, this is a fascist group. These guys believe that Iran and Iraq should be united. They were once united under the Ottoman Empire, or maybe not Iran, but like these guys, they believe that they should remake the Iraqi Empire, or the Abbasid Caliphate. That basically reigned from here to all the way Morocco until like the Mongols pushed them out. So we are going to see a very, very large population of these guys form up here. However, we have to go over to these guys, As the purple country, these guys are pro Western rebels. Like they really want westernization of the Middle East. However, that's probably not going to happen, as they're never going to get enough land for that. As we see that this happens, and the Iranians or like the Iraqians are gone, and now these Iraqi rebels and the Iranese rebels are going to start moving down the coast, as they want as much land as possible for their empire. Now let's talk about the Green Rebels. These guys are pro Central Asian. They want to join up with them. So, well, like, not join up, but they want a new separate alliance with them. So these guys are being funded by them. But they're going to have very, very nice success down here as they grow and even connect up over here. However, just like China, British Raj is going to third party, as the British, they kind of want more colonial land. So yeah, they're going to take all this, and that is an accident. This is actually going to go over to these guys, as they are going to take the rest of the Iranian coast. And well, as of right now, Iran is completely destroyed, as these civil wars are brutally taking them, as the purple group is cut off now, and the fascist rebels are going to be staying in this area. However, once they take out the rest, they're going to be targeting another group, and this is actually going to be the purple group. Why would they be targeting the purple group, you may ask? Well, these guys are like the no-no Germans. They hate, like, these guys, they're pro-Western. These guys hate pro-Western, and if you're pro-Western, you're getting killed. Like, in this country, nope, you're gonna die. So we see that they invade into these guys, and then just like every single war, third partiers, and then yeah, just they're gone in a couple of seconds. But or not seconds, probably a couple months. But now yeah, peace treaty time. And in this peace treaty, we see that Iraq / the Iranian Empire is formed. And, well, this other country over here is formed as well. And the British Raj gets a tiny little piece of land out of Iran. But this is very different, as the fascists are gaining a lot of popularity right now. And, well, I'm going to say the year is about 1930, no, probably 1943, or no, 42. Let's say 1942. So, like, originally, in the real world, Germany, they would have had, like, all of Russia, or most of, like, Moscow and, like, that area. But in this world, World War II has not happened yet. This is a really good sign, as nobody is, like, really dying. Except for in Iraq and Iran, as this new fascist regime is literally just killing people because, yeah, they're not Muslim. Like, if you're a different religion, you're dead. And in Russia, they really do not like these Baltic areas. They don't like the Romani people, and they are specifically targeting a certain religion, which I will explain in a second, or not in a second, probably next episode. But to close out this episode, we are going to be seeing something pretty big taking place. Actually, not very big, but it is actually going to be the unification between all three of these countries underneath the Benelux flag, as we see one new country form. This is actually fairly strong. This is formed by British influence and French influence, because Germany is getting stronger. So they want a strong state to protect them from Germany. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's episode of well, what if Germany and Russia swapped ideologies? But yeah, I'm gonna make this into a series. So yeah, just look out for that. But in the meantime, thank you guys for watching. I'm just getting back into YouTube, but stay tuned in for like the next couple of days. I'm gonna be posting one of these probably every 3 days. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.